Check. Stop. Lockheed Martin register. Lockheed Martin.
Hello, my sweetness, and hello, everybody else out there in YouTube land. This video, I'm going to talk about something that just drives me up a wall and really shouldn't be happening at this point. Well, we all know that the ADA is supposed to prevent, or hopefully prevent, discrimination when it comes to hiring practices when it comes to employment. And there are state laws that do the same thing. Not to mention that those same laws are supposed to prevent discrimination once you are employed. Well, those laws really need to be strengthened. Here's why. I've had it happen 3 times in the last year. Well, actually, it's one company that was over. It happened quite a bit. I've had it happen where organizations just refuse to do what, actually take that back, for companies that refuse to do what they're supposed to do. So let me start with my last employer. Well, not my last employer, the employer before last. So, and yeah, I'm going to be calling these guys out too. So, Keystone Blind Association, aka Keystone Vocational Services. What are they thinking? um, yeah, okay, I was working in the mailroom down in the mine in Boyers. They had a contract with OPM, Office of Personnel Management, at the time. And they would bend over backwards for anybody who was a really high partial, but anybody who was less than that, they refused to accommodate at all. They just played, nope, not going to do it. And it didn't take me very long. You got to remember, I studied, I continued to study human resource law, employment law, things like that. And I'm actually working on a human resource management certificate as we speak. I really have an interest in human resource management, and I have a business management degree. So I really kind of know what the laws are, and I've done a lot of research papers on this kind of thing too. So I knew that they were biking up the wrong tree, and I'm not going to mention this person's name, but they have one employee up in management that it's pretty obvious he does just plain not care what the laws really are. And so I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, I'm going to have to do something about this. So I think about it. Do I file a complaint with the state, and that the state and the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission handle it, or do I file a complaint directly with the Department of Labor, which is what I ultimately did, and let them handle it. So I let the Department of Labor handle it. They did their thing and found problems. And now it's gone over to the EEOC, and the EEOC is now doing their thing. What I'm getting at here is that the technology is out there. I use some of it myself. That someone who's not a high partial do quite a bit of mailroom tasks, and they just would not even consider it. It was just a flat out no. Well, then their contract switched from OPM to the Department of Defense. I have a hunch the Department of Defense knew about my complaint. Because real quick, once that Department of Defense got things in place, once the new fiscal year started, they required Keystone to fix their issues. I had already left by that point because I got tired of the bullshit that they were pulling, but since I already had another job lined up, which will also be covered in this video, but I was like, seriously? What is it with the National Industries for the Blind affiliated agencies trying to get away with this? And why is NIB not insisting that things are accessible and these organizations accommodate properly? So I had some coursework I had to do to get into contract closeout specialist position with Cincinnati Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. And I had the job. They were just waiting for me to get the course done and get an official application in. I left Keystone in October because they were trying to fire me because I took a day off because asthma decided to become a major problem. And when I made sure when I got there within the first couple of days of employment that they knew of migraines and asthma and all that. And my supervisor, he was perfectly fine. The CEO that was there at the time that retired a couple months later, and well, he didn't really retire. He is now a CEO of another organization down in Florida. But he knew about it, and he was perfectly cool with things. But when the new CEO took over, that's when everything went to hell. So anyway, so I got the job with Cincinnati Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired. Okay, this would be really good because I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. I have family in Columbus. I still have family in Cincinnati. I would be right in the middle of the two, in between the two, in Dayton, which is actually quite a nice spot. Although that wouldn't help my migraines out any. But so once they learned I used JAWS, they turned around and fired me. And what's stupid is they have authorization and the capability to use JAWS, but they just will not take the time to actually install it and get it up and running. Why the hell are you trying to use JAWS 18 when they really should be using JAWS 2020 is beyond me. Because that's outdated enough, 2018 is, that it's not going to work very well. I'm actually using JAWS 2020 now. And I'm going to be dropping the money to upgrade that since I skipped over 2019. In a couple months, once money lets me. But anyway, they turned around and fired me because I used JAWS. This gets better. I'm going to jump back here in a second, but now they're hiring a position for a clerk that's supposed to be scanning in all the documents. This is essentially what the job is doing. The clerk is supposed to be scanning in all the documents so that people using screen readers can do the job. Yet they won't turn around and hire me again. Retaliation, I think? Because, yeah, the National Federation of the Blind is involved. They're waiting on the EEOC to finish with their stuff before they can step in and really do something here. Not only is that the EEOC and the NFB know about the problem, and the EEOC is definitely not amused is going to be the nice way to put this. I've got the Pennsylvania Human Rights Commission. They've gotten involved. The Ohio Civil Rights Commission has also gotten involved. So yeah, it's so yeah, they've kind of bit off more than they can really chew, really. And then it kind of dawns on me that really Dayton's not the best spot for me. Because, yeah, I've got family in Columbus and Cincinnati. But when it comes to my migraines, that's still going to be an issue. So I started looking elsewhere and realized that if I go to some place like Long Beach, which would be a damn good spot, the weather stays put, which is the main cause for my migraines. And then, so yeah, so I've pretty much said the heck with this, and I'm going to just go over there. Cost of living is higher, but now I can find a job in a lot more different places. Which is the problem with, like, Dayton. I'm kind of stuck in Montgomery County. I really can't get, well, I can, but it's not easy with the way the bus system works and all that to get over to Greene County, which is right next to it, and then the federal government also has jobs over in the next county over. And I can't get to those at all. Whereas in like the Long Beach area, in a 25-mile radius, I can get to pretty much all the places I would need to get to that I've looked at or I have applied to. Can't really beat that. So, and then I had another organization in Dayton that I ran into a problem with the application where I think I was trying to, but yeah, that's what it was. I was trying to remove some erroneous information and it wouldn't let me. And so I contacted them, got a response back that said, "Oh, you're not qualified for the position." I'm like, timeout, flag that play. And you can't say I'm not qualified when you don't know what my qualifications are. The Air Force needs to get control of their contractors. That's one thing that the Air Force really needs to step up here and do, I think. And, okay, so now I'm going to go back and talk a little bit about NIB. Big problem with these contract closeout specialist positions is that NIB does not care. I'm going to say that because I've been after some of those jobs for the past 7 years, over 7 years at this point. And it's been the same response every single time. We're working on making them accessible, working with the various agencies to make them accessible. No, you're not. It does not take 7 years to make make things accessible. It just doesn't. So yeah. I mean, maybe 2, 3 at the most. But 7? No. So yeah, I personally don't believe they are working on it at all. And then, so yeah, I pretty much at this point, I haven't given up on those jobs, contract closeout specialist jobs, but my focus is definitely shifted. It's pretty much shifted to where I want to go over to the Los Angeles area, and I want to get into human resources. And once I get this certificate done, I should be able to do that. Hell, I should be able to do that even without the certificate, but this certificate should actually help a lot. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about real quick in this video. And until next time, everyone enjoy your day, and my sweetness, I love thee so much, my beautiful Angela.
Op 64C.